My name is Gomoll, and I am Joe's dad. If you can make it go to the laptop, so yeah. I'm going to actually speak myself now instead of. That's okay. I don't need props. We'll get some. No, it's okay. It's not a big deal. That's okay. You know what? Let's just put. You know what? Joe's picture up there is just fine. As a matter of fact, that's better than everything. So, Eileen asked us to talk for 5 to 10 minutes, and those of you that know me know I can't answer how are you doing in less than 30 minutes, but I'll try my best. It was 18 months ago, in a week and a half, that we lost Joe, and he was afflicted with a really crummy disease. I use a different word in private for it than crummy. And maybe if I get to know all you better, I'll use the real word that I use for it. But we'll stick with crummy for right now. Shortly after he died, I decided that I needed to do something because for those first couple of weeks after Joey passed, crawling deeply inside a bottle of Johnny Red, Black, or Blue seemed like a really good option for me. And I knew that wasn't a healthy way to do it. And I knew I couldn't make the crummy go away, but I could make the less crummy. I could work towards more less crummy. And so that's what we did. So we started the Joseph Gomoll Foundation, and it's meant to raise money. I'm going to talk a little bit about Joe, but what you heard from Charlotte, Gervais isn't Lennox Cousteau, but it's darn close. So take Charlotte and Ron's story and in a lot of ways just substitute Joe for it, and we don't need any more crying because I used up all of my Kleenex as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing. We've chosen music as our way of raising money, a way of making things a little less cruel through CDs and concerts and online events. And I'm going to take a minute to tell you the story of our CDs. The Joseph Gomoll Foundation is two people. It's myself and a buddy from 25 years ago that lives down in Florida, and we've worked together. I had a few friends in the music business, some that you'll see that are on the CDs. I guess I need to stay in front of this, although I can't believe anybody can't hear me if I walk over here. And so I sent some emails a couple weeks after it happened to some friends that I have in the music business and just said, this is what I'd like to do. I'd like to put together a CD, rare and unreleased music. We'll sell it at the Methodist Church, the VFW Hall, Century. We'll spread a $500 check, and it'll be nice. And of course, they said yes. And then I thought a little bit about some of the other folks that I've met. You don't get all of this gray hair without meeting some people over the years. And so I started sending notes to friends of friends. A lot of the people are people that you'll see on the CDs. A lot of those people started saying yes. So I kind of realized that we had something here, that Joe's story, our cause to raise money to fight epilepsy and awareness was something that resonated with people. And so less than 9 months after Joey died, we released our first 2 volumes of Joey's songs, one for kids and one for adults. And since that time, we've raised $400,000, 2 guys in the basement selling CDs. So it's pretty cool, and we're darn proud of it. I want to take a minute and talk a little bit about Joey, but I have no flipping clue how Charlotte made it through. I got 1 paragraph, and I'll be a puddle. So I'm going to try to get through the 1 puddle, and then I'm going to move on. You know, Joe had every bad break that you can have. But he laughed and danced and kissed his way through every flippin' ER trip, every seizure, and every moment he had. And we miss him every minute of every day. So I want to talk a little bit about Gervais, because I can do what she just did. Gervais is a really crummy disease. It's a disease that manifests itself in many ways, in many levels of severity, and Joe's was, and Dr. Stafford, I don't know what the technical term, but it was mild to severe, middle to severe. It wasn't as bad as I've read, but I know that there are some people that have Gervais and aren't as affected as Joe was. It prevented Joe from talking. It's very similar to Gio's story. He was really good at animal sounds. He had a vocabulary of about 100 sounds that my wife and I and our kids, Julie and Sam, knew as words, and we knew what he meant. But to the rest of you guys, it would have just been sounds. We were never adequately able to control his seizures. He had just started on stiripentol, which is I think it's called an orphan drug. It's not FDA approved, but we got lucky with some Medicaid stuff and got it approved. He had just started on that when he passed away, so we'll never quite know. It's a drug that's had some success with Gervais. We'll never know if it would have helped Joe. A couple of the what's life like with seizures. We always had our ambulance bags packed, one for Dad and one for Joe. They were always in the closet by the living room, which is where the paramedics would come in when we do a ZR trip. Because every time Joe went, it was at least 3 days in the PICU, sometimes more. So there was Joe's bag and my bag, and we went through this way too many times. And so if you've ever had to live with having ambulance bags packed by your door, you know what seizure disorder is like. There was also the various emergency kits throughout the house. There was the one by the door in case you took Joe out. You had to have the diastat, the rectal diastat. You had to have all that stuff. There was one in the living room, and there was one in his bedroom. All the things that living with a child with seizures that can't be controlled are part of it, that people just don't quite understand. The tension that Charlotte mentioned is always there. It's hanging over you. Joe's seizures would happen at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon when he went to bed, when he woke up. There was no way to do it. You know, the worst part of it was all of the things that a 5-year-old is supposed to do were triggers for his seizures. Overactivity, getting heated, getting overexcited. That's what 5-year-olds are supposed to do. They're supposed to run around and get excited and get overheated and slide and stay up a little too late and do all of that stuff. And Nori and I had to be these draconian watchdogs, getting him down for his nap and telling the kids to be quiet because Joe's sleeping. It's just, one of the folks in Susan's video said it's really unfair. It's really unfair. Until you've been on 24/7 alert, it's kind of hard to understand. And the last little anecdote I tell you, for 4.5 years, my wife and I started every phone conversation, whoever was with Joe at the time, with everything is okay. Not hello, not how are you, but if you were receiving a call from the parent that was with Joe, and even when I could tell that everything was okay, when she'd be giving me a shopping list, I'd still, until I heard that, I didn't know. And so until you've had to start every conversation with your spouse, that everything is okay, it's kind of hard to understand. So why have we chosen Cure? So I guess the thing that I want to, I don't know if announce is the right word, that makes it sound way too big of a deal. But we're working on the next volume of CDs for Joe's son. We got some really great people. We got Roseanne Cash, and we got some folks from the Jayhawks, and we got Sammy Leonis from the Bodines, and lots of uber cool people, and lots of really great songs that are going to be on it. And our board, well, me and Kevin, the guy that helps me, have decided that Cure is going to be our major recipient of all of our funds. We're just a pass-through organization. I like to refer to us, we're a multiplier. If people give us money, we give it to people that can make it do 5 and 10 times the kind of stuff that we do. And so what we do is we find organizations that we feel fit with us. And the folks at Cure and their desire to fund research, awareness is great, and we need more awareness, and there's lots of folks doing awareness stuff. But as you heard from all of these stories, we need research and we need cures, and we need something other than we've done all we can do, try to keep him safe. No offense to the doctors in the room, but that doesn't frickin' fly. And so we need to work on that, and that's what we're going to do. So our foundation and our family are deeply dedicated to what Cure is trying to do in their success. We thank you for coming, and we hope you are too. And I just want to end by saying we need a lot less crumbing. That's what we need.